Yeah. Alright. Today we're gonna talk about like HTTP, especially for new people. I think it could be an interesting concept because like in order to place capture the flag, you need to understand where to input your payload, understand how the connection between the server and the browser. So this is the connection between the browser and the server. Let's have a look at everyone's favorite web application, Entrée. So you guys can just speak and interrupt me in the middle of the things, right? Because it feels like a crazy just to talking along. So yeah. So this is an example about HTTP. Can I? So this first part right here is get. It is to tell the server how to process this. We have get is the method, right? It tells the server what you want to do. We have get to get the information from the server. We have post to post the information that you want into the server. You put kind of the same, right? You tell the server what you want to do. We have the slash represent for the URI. It's to tell the controller of the server how to process it. If you guys writing a web application, you guys will know the MVC model, which is model, view, and controller. So this slash is to tell the controller how to process it. And lastly, we have HTTP / 1.1. It's the protocol is HTTP and the version is 1.1. And what about this kind of part? It is header. Header is a way for you to communication with your server. I'm sure you guys hear of like cookie. You guys hear of cookie? Sure. Yeah. So it's just another header. So you just get to.
Would that whole chunk be like a HTTP request or no? Or is request just like a part of that?
What? Sorry.
Right? Is that like what it is? HTTP requests?
Yeah.
And is that whole chunk like a HTTP request? Or is it like a section of it?
The whole thing's right here. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. It's kind of like this. And of course, you will have. You guys see line number 9 /r/n. Yeah, you guys need to have that in order for the application, in order for the HTTP to work. It's like a separator. But there's other way of separate, which we talk about later. But if you guys want to play some CTF, it is kind of some interesting header that you guys need to know. One is, of course, cookie. In my opinions, cookie exists because people want to customize shit and they cannot unite about what header to be used. So they just put in that and call it cookie. It's kind of weird why they call it cookie. To be honest, yeah. But some of the fun things. You have Samsai, which is another interesting thing. It will relate it to a thing called cross-site request forgery. Uh, it is a new type of header that Google put into their browser in order to prevent cross-site request forgery like that. The type of thing that you can just request into the cross-site of other people. So this is what kind of preventive. We have content type. We just showing the media type that we are of the information we want to transfer. We have two important things that we will be talking tonight, that is transfer encoding and content length. So transfer encoding exists because you want to transfer things in byte, right? It kind of, if you want to mostly if you want to transfer in pi, you have like that TCP connection. But if you still want to do that in HTTP, you kind of have this. It's not an optimal way. So, and you have body. Can anyone guess where's the body in this? Just a guess. So it's kinda start after the header. Kinda how to, no, I fuck up, but yes. Kinda around here. Oh fuck, I fuck up. Sorry guy. It's kinda around here. So it is the body. It's often showing up the most if you guys looking at the HTTP post or put or kinda like that, you will see the content, the body, right? It is a way for you to put your what you want to put, a dynamic way. And finally, we have parameter. In my opinion, it's just a pair of key and value. If you guys go further into each language, for example, PHP or Ruby, it will have different way of process this. For example, Ruby have different way of process an array you put in. If you guys playing CTF, you guys would need to notice that, but it's not that important for now because today we talking about this. This is kind of a fun vulnerability to do, and if you guys understand this, I think you guys can understand the HTTP really good. That's why I'm doing it today. So let's do in. You guys see my screen? Okay, still seeing. This imagine it's represent is the best way. How to say it? So you will have you will send a request, right? And that request will be override on top of other requests. it is not processed in the right way. So you can get that will be a really really critical vulnerability, because imagine if you guys can just put in the header of this, and the authentication in the other part, the authentication in the green party is other person like admins, right? It will get really bad if hacker can utilize. Let me see if they have a really good example for this. I think a good way is to do in a lab, right? But let's start with understanding the two CL. What is CLTE and TECL? This is a way they talking like don't really understand, don't really need to understand the front end and back end. It is a bad way of represent it, I think. Just thinking about it like a proxy and a server, right? So one of them, CLTE. CL is content length. So one server, the server before using content length, right? So they process the cookie, the whole things, and the backend server using transfer encoding, which they will only process into here. Where do this go? It goes into the next one. So this front end allow you to put in all of this, and this one and the back end process it in a different way. That's what causing the problem. Again, we have CLTE. It basically reverts updates. Right? The front end you content length, and the back end using transfer encoding. It's so quiet that I don't. That's kind of weird, but yeah. So let me put it on a lab for we to understand it better. Now, let's first Akinet. You guys kind of understand the idea. Yeah, alright. So I will put it on labs. Wait for me. Okay, and you guys can see I already did some of it. So we will first start with CLTE, which the front end is content length and the back end is for encoding. Then is this one. You guys can see I already did it, but I did it like a few years ago. Let's grab the server. So we have this shortens. Okay, I forgot to option play HTTP press meshes fonts to 17. Back to Twitter. There. Is enough? Okay. So, in order for you guys to send in to doing what they are doing in the theory, you guys need to transfer it into post, right? And you're gonna need, alright, turn off the content. So that is CL, is CLTE content length, and with the front end is content length. So what we will do is to calculate for it how to pass the front end, right? So how it pass the front end is to calculate all of the thing in the body, because it is content length. So how many content do we have? How long do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's it. And the back end is using transfer encoding, right? So if you guys remember to transfer in byte, so we will have a type of it chunk, right? Chunk, and with the byte, it will end at 0. So the server in the back end will only process until here. That's what we are hoping for, right? So let's send the first request. Be okay. Second request, forbidden. Unrecognized cheat ports. So the second request will be override into this request. So it becomes G ports right here. Alright. So yeah. Can you guys kind of get the ideas of it? Like the front end only process this, the front end process all this, back end only process to this, and it cut right here. Yeah. So let's continue with the other one. Transfer encoding and content length. So This one will be harder. Using this 08 scroll. So you also need change web meta. So also you guys let's not doing it by hand because it's kinda not efficient. So what you guys can do if you guys want to do it automate is using this extension in Word. I think it's also in the free one. So basically if will give you guys anything, it will give you guys a bunch of different payloads for you guys to just doing it automate. And what I often do is I also have flow to kind of monitor what they are sending. Right. So let's get testing with this and I will explain it later. Nope. Get T as whoa. Okay. Let's not doing that. Because we don't want to go too far. Just like doing this. Alright. Let's try automation. We're trying to get to flow. Why is it not working? Okay, I'm freaking out here. What's because of mine? Yeah, if it's not working, I will do it by okay, let's just do it by let's see how many we have. The reason why I do it by hand more difficult is because you gotta need to understand chunk, right? So in this chunk we will have this is the first kind of byte to represent how many that we have in our body, and then we will have 0 to cut it, cut the contents, cut the end of the content. For example, if I want to put it becoming G part, it GTP p slash 1.1 G part. Okay, let's just put it G part. Right? And this one we have to change into pi. Of course, content length also need to change. Let's just say 1, 2, we'll have 3 in here. Put it like this. And let's have a try. protocol error. It work. Yeah, that's why. Okay, I'm making a bad move here. Let me just stop this standard. Protocol error because hey, did someone just join? Okay, I think we really need to do it proper way. Let's copy in. Let's copy in. We would need pen type right here. We will need this plus and HTTP 1.1 or else won't gonna be working because our in order to solve it we need to put in G parts into this method. So and then content length, let's put in something that is not. Did I forgot something? 0 right here. How many pen do we need? It's 1. It's too much. 15. How many do we will have? Let me pull it up. Calculator. Sorry guys for the reason why it's not working is because we don't have this part behind, so it just give a back request. Doesn't mean it doesn't work, but we would need to finish that. So 1, 2, 3. This let's see if it do work. No. What did I do? It's still working? Why? I embarrassed myself here. For this pink of battery. Let's do it from the start. This one we will have. Yes. So we want to transfer and it to pots. Right. And we want to nope. Sorry guys. And we also want to do this for coding. Let this so and length. Let's just copy in this So, one, two, one, two, three, four. Yeah. Why this not working? I have no idea. Maybe I fuck up at some part, but basically, my calculation is right. So yeah, so basically the front end will doing transfer encoding, and the back end will contain length.
I have one question.
Yeah,
If you go back to the window, what sec? Where was the other one we were just at?
yeah. This one,
Mm.
this one.
Oh crap! I think, but when I was thinking about it, it was something else. My bad. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll change it.
it's kind of, what can I say, a mess. My presentation. So
That's all good. Um, yeah,
yeah,
my bad.
so I understand. So yeah, the first one, first server they allowed it. The second server they'll be allowing. That's why they're allowing to this. Sorry, allowing it had to have ours. Like I think that's this. As stops. Yeah. So it's kinda a way for you guys to like be really trying to understand HTTP requests. Especially if you are trying to get into CTF, I do believe it will help a lot. You guys won't meet a lot of request smuggling in the game. Not because like it's not a good kind of solution, it's not a good vulnerability, but because it's really hard to set it up the right way for you guys to doing it. But I do believe it is a best way for you guys to understand HTTP. Yeah. So any question?